rAVe Radio. With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary Kayye.
Good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kayye, and boy, do I have a special set of guests today. I'm honored to be with Warren Chaiken and Clive Fitzharris. Of course, Clive Fitzharris is the managing director of Exertis International, and they just made a bombshell announcement. There's no better term to describe it than that. With the acquisition of Almo Corporation, where Warren has been the president and CEO. First off, Clive, congratulations. And boy, did you shift all the news stories yesterday. This was the big story. I mean, this dominated the news globally.
Yeah, no, thank you, Gary, and thanks for having us on. It's a massive day for us as well in Exertis. It's the largest acquisition that we've done as a group, and our parent company has done. It really substantially changes our presence in North America, which is only a story really that's 3 years old, having bought the Stampede business in 2018, and then we bought Jam Industries, which I'm sure some of your viewers will know on the pro audio side, but also very strong in musical instruments. We've bought JB&A, strong on the broadcast and the music people, another pro audio and MI business. But yesterday's announcement it was a step change for all our people in North America. We'll have together with Almo will be 2.4 billion in revenue, 1,400 employees, clear leadership in consumer appliances with the Almo business, and they have an exceptionally strong business there. We've already leadership in pro audio, the MI side, and now we've just the opportunity to create the clear number one in specialist pro AV distribution, which is super exciting.
Yeah, I think actually it's sort of like it's like the missing piece of the puzzle. Although Stampede did some pro AV, nothing to the level of what Almo was doing and has been doing with the breadth of the product line and the amount of coverage that they had. Warren, your team had built, you and Sam and your team had built an incredible pro AV audience and organization with the shows and the events and the education and training and the access to products. I think I'm just gonna, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it seems like a perfect match, because what your strengths are fit right into what Exertis needed in North America specifically. Wouldn't you agree with that? I'm sure that's why you even considered this.
I would say you hit the nail right on the head, Gary. I mean, we have on the pro AV side, we have two really strong and great companies that are servicing this market in a value-added way. And by putting them together, we're going to take the best of our different things that we do together and make it even more exciting for our customers and our vendors going forward, from our shows to our marketing events to our educational stuff that we continue to do. And now together we have a whole bunch of different audiences or customers that we can actually approach and really drive value add in this industry.
Whenever there's a acquisition, merger, or whatever ends up happening, there's always that nervousness around, changing organizational structure and cutting. One of the things that I noticed in the announcement, but also in discussions in and around this, Warren, is that you made it clear that this is not that kind of play, that this is a revenue play, as you put it, with the opportunity for growth. So there's no reason to sort of like reorganize anything. In fact, Clive, you actually, the announcement actually stated that that Sam Taylor, who's been running Almo Pro AV, will now run the new Exertis Almo Pro AV group. That was, I think, a telling statement in the press release with regard to your respect to what Almo and Sam and Warren had built with their Pro AV team. Would you agree with that statement, Clive?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with it. And we're talking to a lot of our employees yesterday, and I was in Philadelphia with with Warren during yesterday as well, and something that we'd said many times. There's big news here today, but no big change. Like Almo is a highly successful business with really great people and a really great management team, and that will continue. Our approach is we just want to add to it. We're not going. There's no change in strategy. There's no change in focus. And Sam Taylor has been an industry leader for a long time before we have entered the market. So it's just it's a very logical choice and a very good decision that from our perspective that we have Sam leading the combined organization. To pick up on what Warren was talking about, we do have two. I wouldn't say identical, but very, very well matched, even in size and just the profile of the organizations, their go-to-market approach. There's so many similarities, and then there's just complementarity in a lot of other ways where we can just pick up the strength in either organization and then just proliferate that across what's going to be the industry-leading sales team and sales organization with the combined infrastructure of what we've already had in North America, together with Almo's infrastructure, and that's going to be, I think, just super beneficial for everyone in the industry, our customers, our vendors, and our employees.
I also think it'll help on the Exertis side, make everyone feel comfortable that John Doon is also going to be done. I never can remember the pronunciation there. Is going to be part of the Exertis Almo rAVe team as well, and help lead the integration team. Warren, I want to ask you a question, because your company prides itself on, I mean, you're a family company. You know, the Chaiken name, the Al and Mo, all that came from your family. Your family's been involved, your dad, of course, your mom, your grandparents. So tell me about sort of like, you have a very unique culture. How do you feel like this is going to mesh? Because there's an interesting opportunity here to bring that culture that you've had for many, many years into what Exertis has.
There are probably three different levels as far as what we're talking about here, right? One is this opportunity has made us become, instead of family owned, we're going to be family run. So my parents are staying and they're going to be part of the business. I'm staying, the management team's staying. My dad, I've always joked, and my dad has guaranteed this is going to be the case, that I've always said that he'll retire 3 years after he's dead. And he told the employees yesterday that he plans to live up to that. But we do have a very unique culture, which we call FIT, which is family, integrity, innovation, and teamwork. And what I'm excited about is now we can continue to expand that and really be not only the premier value-add distributor or specialized distributor in the rAVe space and the other areas that we deal with, but I'm also hoping we're going to be the premier place for people who want to come to work with us because what we've created over the last 75 years.
Yeah, and so Clive, obviously, globally, you alluded to this in the press release. Fact, globally, there's a supply chain issue that everybody's afraid of. I don't think everyone's experienced it yet. I think there's a lot of hype around it. I think there've been pockets where companies have experienced problems, but they've been able to shift. Like I've seen some really unique opportunities where integrators have been able to explore and find new companies and new products that they didn't know existed, that aren't having the supply chain issues, the chip shortages that other companies were having, and being, I guess, I hate to use the term pivoting. It's more being fluid in your approach to how to partner with brands. This clearly benefits, I would think, everyone from that standpoint, because now you've kind of tripled or at least doubled the opportunity for you to have that fluidity and be able to have those other choices.
Absolutely, Gary, and just having a much broader range of products and being able to bundle and to a certain extent then, as you say, be flexible and nimble in terms of product that we're providing, and then just greater availability. I talked about the infrastructure, the combined organization, and Almo have quite an exceptional warehouse footprint throughout North America, which supports their very material consumer appliance and e-commerce fulfillment business, and which is a lot of it is large format products on that side, and just the Pro-AV fits in really well into that, and supports the very high service levels that we'll be able to provide on the Pro-AV side, and product availability.
Yeah, I think this is going to be interesting to watch, because I think that you could help solve some of those problems. Does this mean that now, Warren, y'all are the largest distributor in North America size-wise? Is that, I don't know if there's any official measurement of that and who tracks that. I haven't really seen any data there, but I mean, this is a giant acquisition.
Yeah, I would say, Gary, I mean, you have to look at each industry separately, right, in and of itself.
I'm speaking specifically Pro-AV, digital signage, AV, that kind of stuff.
I'm assuming it is, but honestly, there isn't that, there isn't that scoreboard out there. I think our goal is that we're going to be the best. And that's our plan, to be the best Pro-AV distributor out there, and the results will follow.
What services would be added? Like, Clive, I know that Exertis has had a big focus on adding services as a value add to everything that you sell and support. What can we expect, I guess, in new services and support, thanks to what Exertis brings from your international base?
Yeah, well, we've a global presence on the AV side, and Warren maybe is being modest. Like, in my view, I think we'll have the leading position in North America and across into Europe, and we have some very innovative, value-adding businesses in Europe that are focused around UC&C and bundle services, and doing a lot of direct to consumer type propositions as well, and a lot of design work, and bringing vendors and integrators together. I think Warren can talk to that. We're doing most of that in each respective organization. We'll be able to do that at more scale. But I do want to just add in something else before maybe handing over to Warren to speak on it. Our Exertis group is, and we haven't talked much about branding, but we've an overall Exertis brand. We're not changing the Almo brand. Like, I mean, that is a really strong brand in the market. We're going to do something a little bit different on the Pro-AV side, Exertis Almo Pro-AV, because all our Pro-AV businesses in Europe and now in North America are branded Exertis, and we think that's important in terms of our relevance with the vendors. But as we organize ourselves, when we buy companies like Almo, like now this Exertis Pro-AV, we just want them, we focus on specialism. So when you talk about largest, we're the largest specialist. So it's dedicated management, dedicated sales teams, dedicated product managers that are only focused every day on delivering service in that Pro-AV space. And there's a bunch of stuff that we'll do in the background to leverage the scale of both organizations in terms of delivering that product into the customer and making sure it's available and sourcing it, etc. But just those dedicated sales folks is something that is a key part of our strategy, and is fundamentally important here as well.
There is some nervousness around supply chain issues, Warren. Do you feel more comfortable now with this acquisition, that you have access to more products? Is that going to solve the problem, or how are you feeling about 2022 with regard to that?
I mean, I think supply chain is still going to continue to be an issue. I mean, you're going to see this pop up here and there throughout the rest of this year, and obviously 2022. But with us having more combined power, so to speak, or leverage, I think we're going to we'll get our unfair share to make sure that we can supply products to our customers, but we'll also have some other choices. So if there's not something available, unfortunately, we'll have other options and opportunities to make sure our customers can get what they need.
And Clive, just out of curiosity, if you were to rate your confidence level, just for the benefit of the viewers, of 2022 and sort of not Exertis, I mean the industry, how you feel about 2022, you bullish and it's a 10? Are you concerned it's a 5? Or what do you think? Give us a rating.
I won't put. I'm very bullish, and maybe I'll give you a perspective from just our European business as well. Like the recovery in the US came quicker, and it was earlier in the late spring, summer months, and it's sustained an awful lot stronger than European markets. And actually now, when we can see the recovery coming in European markets, and I know we have new waves of various variants that are coming and causing us issues, but I think the industry has performed very, very well in North America in the current year, and I'd be very bullish about the outlook for 2022 and beyond. I think the strength of the consumer in the US market, which drives an awful lot of the investment in the customer segments that the installers and that we're trying to fulfill, I think that's just going to remain very robust. We have to deal with an inflation issue, but that's for the whole economy. That's everyone to deal with. And there's a talent availability issue as well. But I think we're going to be very well placed as an organization just to give our customers choice in relation to the right products at the right price, and just giving great career opportunities for that enlarged employee base, and develop that talent and attract the best talent that's in the industry.
Yeah, I'm excited that you feel that way. And I agree with you. Based on what I've seen, I think Europe's going to mimic what happened here in North America over the last 7.5, 8 months. We're obviously, the more data we get on this new variant, the more confident we feel about something like that. I'm excited to see you both at ISE in February. We'll be covering that show in a big, big way. And I'm excited to see the combined organization over there. And congratulations again, Clive. And congratulations for all that you've done up to this point. I mean, it's just an amazing story. And Warren, obviously, as Clive says, 75 years of history. Please send my best to your family. Congratulations, and I wish you the best. And I want to say thank you for doing this interview today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
rAVe Radio. With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves.